All right, guys, welcome back to the Mad City Summer Shootout here at the Ignite Gaming Lounge in Chicago. I am Dazarin, and join with me is the one and only Hanzo Atori. How you doing, Hanzo?
Doing great. I'm excited to be here today, and I'm so glad to have so many friends here at the Mad City event today.
Yeah, it's been a spectacular event. Just to keep you guys up to date right now, we are just finishing up the group stage. We're getting ready to move everyone into the single elimination bracket. So we're just working on that. It's going to be an extended break time. So we're just going to give you. I just want to give you guys a nice little treat. You guys requested Hanzo in the chat. I have brought you the Hanzo. So just want to pick his brain a little bit and ask him some questions. First off, Hanzo, just tell us who are you? You know, what do you do?
Um, I'm Hanzo. I do a lot of things involving social media in the community. I kind of got involved towards the beginning of Rocket League coming out of beta, I guess.
Right.
I ended up stumbling across it on stream. One of the big streamers was streaming it, and I thought, wow, there was something about this game that I just could not stop watching. And I met a lot of friends just watching a lot of different Twitch streams. And next thing I know, I was following these streamers on Twitter and Twitch, and just liking what they did, and it just became a whole big thing. And really, I just enjoyed the game so much that it just became a part of what I am and what I do.
Yeah, I mean, and you do just an amazing work. Just in social media, in the social aspect, you're like in almost every Twitch stream. You have people sending like test Twitter posts, like testing the city when Hanzo likes this post, and you know you're everywhere, and you know it's like I can speak for the entire Rocket League community by saying we love you. We love what you
Wow.
do, and I just like for right now. I mean, look at this. We're here at the Mad City Summer Shootout. Just tell me how this all came to be.
Well, I guess to talk about how Mad City Summer Shootout came about, we have to talk about Chicago Rocket League and how that came about. And really just became a labor of love, going back to just talking about local events. I have to shout out Furtive Raccoon, who kind of started some of the more local events that I saw out in San Diego.
All right, yeah.
And after seeing some of the things that he did, it just felt natural to want to have some of that right where we are here in Chicagoland. And so D Pants and I kind of talked about it because we were from Chicagoland, and we were like, we would love to do something like this here
Right.
and really help grow and foster the local Rocket League scene. So we kind of got together. We kind of looked and saw what kind of events were happening in the area, and next thing you know, we decided to just see about doing an event of our own.
Yeah, and that was a pretty sick. I remember the first Chicago land tournament. It wasn't broadcasted or anything, but it was actually here.
Exactly. This is why this is so special for us, is because we're kind of coming back to where it all began. It was a tournament. We didn't know what kind of turnout to expect. We just put it out there, and we're just hoping for the best. And
Right.
we ended up having so much participation, it just blew us away. And it's really special to be able to come back here and see all that has happened in that short period of time.
Yeah.
From doing that event to meeting Eric Boyer,
Right. Yeah.
who runs Mad City, and being invited to work with them on the Midwest land up in Wisconsin. And from that experience, to be able to do that, um, put on a bigger LAN event, and then decide to do the next one, it just was a match made in heaven.
Right.
It's pretty much. And we hit it off, and we decided to join Mad City in order to work with Eric Boyer and the team that had such great production. And we just enjoyed working with them so much that we wanted to bring that to local Rocket League here in Chicagoland.
Yeah.
And that's how this event came about.
Yeah, that's amazing. So right now, you and Pants are partnered with Mad City, correct?
Yes, we are partnered with Mad City, and we are pretty much the Rocket League focused aspect of Mad City. Um, of course, we will be working and involved with other events going on in the gaming world, but
Right.
Rocket League is our focus. Rocket League is our love, our first love. So that's always going to be #1 for us.
No, that's great. And we talk just a little bit more about the history and how this all came into be. You guys, just again to just reiterate, started the first Chicagoland here at Ignite. Worked with the owner here, Sam, who's a great guy as
Amazing.
well. And that hit it off. That you built that relationship. Then afterwards, partnering up with Boyer, who basically runs Mad City, then doing the Midwest Land, the Arctic Warfare tournament, and just seeing their insane production. Like, it's insane. This is the best production I've ever been a part of. And you guys ended up building that relationship off of that tournament as well. And then you end up just bringing both of them together to make this epic event. I mean, this event has gotten a lot of, I'd say a lot of hype. What did we end up doing? A shout out from RLCS Overtime, Rocket League Central retweet, actual Rocket League account retweet. Like, it's come a long way from a tournament with no stream to just being this super hyped up event.
Exactly, and it's happened so quickly. I think just kind of reflective of the Rocket League esports scene as a whole, and how quickly that has taken off as well. But I think it just reflects back on how much the community wants and is kind of demanding to have that kind of event right here in their own backyard. So I think this is only the beginning.
Exactly. And, there are other people who are, at home watching like, man, I really want, a land environment. I want to, where's the East Coast lands at? Where's something going on here? It's honestly, it's all up to you guys at home. It's just about getting out there and doing it, finding, your local gaming lounge, setting things up, talking to people, building relationships. I mean, we have like almost, I want to say we have casters that are either willing to travel or that will, or that are in the area already that want to, obviously cast a live stream event like this. And then there are players that are across the world who play Rocket League, and they would love to come out for tournaments like this. It all basically depends on who takes the first step, I believe. And that could be literally any one of us.
Exactly. And kind of touching upon that too, it just kind of giving light or showcasing some of the up-and-coming talent from the region. I think that's another reason why these events are so important, both on the player aspect, caster aspect, and those that want to help behind the scenes. I think it's so important to allow others that want to be involved the opportunity to do so, and that's another reason why I love doing these kind of events.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, what better community to do it for than the Rocket League community? Honestly, it's the best community, in my opinion, that I've been a part of. I love everyone. You can have events like this and tournaments like this, and you meet a whole entire group of friends who all have a background and history together. And there's so many, like right now, just even here, there's so many different communities who have all come together, and they enjoy it. They love it. They come out, yes, to play and yes, to compete, but also to be with their friends that they talk to online, be with these people who are working so hard to make, whatever they're doing happen, whether it be a podcast, whether it be a live stream, like a tournament or even something just two local guys just coming together and meeting someone like Pluto for the first time. It's lands make that possible.
Yeah. And the support that we've seen from both pro players and those that may not be well known has been phenomenal. And really seeing those players want to embrace those that may not have as much tournament experience and want to just interact with them and just hang out. It's really inspiring to see that no matter what level a player is at, they're always welcome. And you couldn't ask for anything more from a local community tournament.
Yeah, exactly. And now, during this break, guys, I just want to take this opportunity, because I do think this is a great opportunity to have you here, to just pick apart Hanzo's mind as much as we can. We're gonna just ask you some questions about Rocket League and the community. So, I mean, first off, your thoughts on the Rocket League community as a whole.
Wow, I think you kind of started to touch upon that very well. There's something special about Rocket League in general, just the way the game is developed, the way the game is marketed and the people who play it. It's something unique. It's something different than anything I've ever experienced before. And I think based upon that, that's why we have such a special and amazing community. Um, Looking at how it all began, uh, from just being a mod of Unreal Tournament to developing this whole physics-based game around that and making it, motorized aerial car
Right.
soccer, like taking that and then adding the competitive aspect, the competitive nature of it already, and kind of making that formatted um, is something special.
Right.
Looking how the game started compared to some of the other games these days, um, the first tournaments were just community organized. Looking back at like Rocket League Central, Cloud Fuel,
Right.
just saying, hey, I think this game has a lot of potential, and it would be amazing to see these players that have so much talent have a place that they can play every week and just put on the best show. That is so special. I think that's why our community grew in such a healthy and embracing way,
Yeah.
is that it started from the community from the ground up and just became this whole big juggernaut that we have today. And seeing all the community organizations that have helped to continue and foster that.
Oh yeah, there's a ton now. I mean, people have grown so much. Like just to name a few: Rocket League Central, PRL, Nexus, Shift, Mythical. Like there's so many people who want to bring competitive online tournaments to Rocket League. And there's also others. You talked about Furtive Raccoon with his land in San Diego earlier. So people want to do also local tournaments as well. I mean, we're here obviously, and that's all. That all works out. So I mean, you touched on Psionics a little bit and how they were able to, just come from Unreal Tournament to just this game here. Talk to me about like Psionics' future. What do you think is the future for that company?
Wow. Well, just based on the trajectory of the game, with it just getting ready to come up on the second anniversary here, I think the trajectory is nowhere but up.
Right.
They've taken a lot of the right steps to continue to foster and provide something for all the different segments of the community. Whether we're talking about the more casual player that just likes to play casually with friends, people that like to jump in and play Rumble or hockey,
Yeah.
or hoops, right?
Right. Right.
Or, catering the more competitive aspects, making the little tweaks and the fixes to the game to make the game play in a certain fashion for competitive players. I think they've done a lot of the right things since the beginning, and that's why it's seen the popularity that it has now, and that's why I think it's only going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
Just looking from the trajectory of when the game was first created and to what it is now, just think about the spectator
Yeah.
features that we have now. When I go
Oh, I
back
love
and
'em.
I go back
I
and
love
look
'em.
at some of the old tournaments like the MLG tournaments and
Yeah.
looking at, I mean, it was still exciting to watch, but we were just working with the very basics as far as what we could do in game and spectating.
Yeah.
And them just adding this whole new system, adding auto cam, more flexibility to it, it really, really made it special.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a huge difference just in how people played the game as like if you go back and watch the MLG VODs versus watching like the grand finals of RLCS this past season, there's a huge difference in how people played the game. There's a huge difference in how people watch the game. And honestly, everything around it has evolved. And it's been great to just be along for the ride and just to see basically Rocket League evolve and become the esport that it is. Um, being able to do that is also watching it. Everyone looks for
Yes.
viewership numbers, and we've ended up seeing those grow tremendously as Rocket League has also, I guess, grown. I mean, we talk about the grand finals for RLCS Season 3, hitting 200,000 concurrent viewers, and then over 1 million unique viewers. That's a lot of numbers.
It's
And
huge.
you've been in practically every Twitch chat ever. So kind of as a viewer, describe to me what that experience. I mean, I'm clearly a viewer because I'm a caster. All I do is watch the game. But describe it to me from just your point of view, being like able to mod all the chats and just being almost everywhere at once.
Um, it just all comes back to my love for the game and the way that it is so. It allows for so much individuality and so much individual talent to be displayed by
Yeah.
each player. I think that's what makes it so unique. Um, the basics of the game are the same, but what each player does out on the field can be so incredibly different and sometimes so incredibly unexpected in great ways that is what continues to bring me back, and I probably watched thousands of hours now. I can definitely
So
say
many clips.
I've definitely watched more hours than I played, which is something I can never say about any other game. It's
Yeah.
just that it's
Okay.
just that enjoyable to watch and to kind of look at and go back and look at replays and watch how teams and players set up plays, how they interact with each other, how they anticipate what's going to happen,
Yeah.
and kind of watching that meta change over the last 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. And it's evolved, and the game has been played so much faster now that it's almost hard to keep up sometimes. But we're starting to see a lot more events in Rocket League. One of them being the Brisk Summer Series. I believe that starts tomorrow.
Yeah, Brisk Summer Series is starting tomorrow. Happening, the NA portion of that, got to have that brisk.
Kind of got that brisk.
Take the risk.
James.
So we're looking forward to that, and just the fact that having Brisk on board, supporting Rocket League, and coming in a big way and making these huge online tournaments, as
Right.
well as supporting RLCS, that just kind of tells you the kind of momentum that Rocket League esports has right now, and the fact that it is becoming so competitive that they, the,
A lot
it
of
can we can
people-
sustain
Yeah.
having more events like this.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of another event, we have this one, and then we have DreamHack Atlanta also coming up next month, and then either like on that day or right after that day, there's NBC is hosting their event, the Rocket League on TV. 2v2 $100,000 tournament. It's absolutely insane. And then almost like either on or right before RLCS. I know there's a little jumble going on with the dates, but still, just having all those different tournaments for Rocket League, huge prize pools, a lot of opportunity for pro players to come out and just show the world what they have. There's a big push for competitive Rocket League right now.
Exactly. It's looking amazing. NBC stepping up and saying that this is something that they want to show to the nation, and I'm sure across the world. I think there's going to be coverage on Telemundo and a lot of other stations as well around the world. Them saying that Rocket League is something that they want to show to the world really speaks a lot to the beauty of the game
Right.
and the competitive nature of the players. So looking at the future, it's very bright. And the fact that now you kind of have to decide, like, which ones you can go to, which ones are the lands that you can go to, which
Yeah.
ones you can play in. I think that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I'd say so myself. I agree.
Looking at other esports, League of Legends, Dota, that's the trajectory that we're on, and we're gonna. There will be times where players and viewers even will have to pick and choose what they watch. But I see a lot of hope for the future in that there's just so many opportunities for players of all levels to play competitively and potentially win big prizes. It's really encouraging, and I think we're going to see a lot more going into 2018 in the future.
I don't know if my body's ready. Just to talk more about you and the things that you do real quick. I mean, your partner, or you've worked with organizations like NZXT and Rocket League Central. Talk to me about working with those guys.
It's been phenomenal. Kind of just a lot of just being in the right place at the right time, and also just wanting to do more to help spread Rocket League and help just introduce people to new things and great groups of people. And I found that both with Rocket League Central and with NZXT. And kind of what I feel like is kind of what I do with social media. I just feel like I find information that I find useful or interesting or sometimes funny, and just want to share that. There's so many great content creators um, in our scene, and I feel like between all that and the competitive highlights and clips that we have from all of the tournaments that go on between Gfinity and all those things, and just wanted to share that with the world. And so I feel like I do that best on Twitter and
Oh, yeah.
writing and stuff like that.
I feel like there are so many people that are just tweeting right now because they know you don't have your phone.
They know I
so-
can't like things, so I'm sorry for the decrease in worldwide likes on Rocket League tweets right
Everything
now.
is breaking.
But I promise you, there's a good reason, because I'm talking to you right now.
Exactly. We'll wrap this up really soon so you can get back to liking stuff. Just finally, how do you feel about the event, the atmosphere, just everything that's happened today?
The atmosphere here is just electric. Having all these people under the same roof, playing the game that they love and wanting to play for prizes is awesome. And just getting another chance to give more to the community and to help foster the growth of the Rocket League esports scene, that is what it's all about to me. So I'm just all smiles. So if you see pictures of me around and I'm all smiling, that's why. It's just because I just love the growth of the community, and I love giving back to all the people that have given me so much support over the last 2 years. So it's amazing, and I'm so glad that so many people that have been to other Chicago events and even people around the Midwest have come to this event today.
Yeah.
And it just feels really special to be a part of that and to be a part of this team. I mean, you guys casting, D-Pants and Eric and the whole Mad City crew behind the scenes working, Sam and his crew from Ignite Gaming Lounge welcoming us back into their home again.
Right.
And all of you guys watching at home on Twitch. I mean, it's overwhelming. It really is overwhelming, and I'm just glad that you all are joining us here today.
So, thank you so much for coming on.
Pleasure.
It's always a pleasure. We're going to let you get back to running this fantastic tournament. Guys, thank you. This has been Hanzo Atori. My name's Dazarin. We're going to cut to a short break so we can actually get some more Rocket League action back to you. We'll be right back here on Mad City GG. This is their Summer Shootout.